Hello YouTube, Glenn Anderson here. So if you've been watching my videos, you'll see that recently I log pressed 140 kilos overhead, which is 308 pounds. So today I just want to share some tips with you on how I myself have log pressed over 300 pounds and how possibly I can help you yourself improve your own log press, wherever that may be at. So the first thing, the first tip is basically get those triceps strong. Strong triceps will help you press in, and one of my favourite exercises to do is basically close grip bench press. I do a lot of close grip and I found that's good. Okay, so tip number 2 is work on what's weak. There's mainly two parts to the log press. You have the clean and then you have the press. Now I'm very good at the clean myself, but once I've got the weight here, the press is where I normally struggle. So the majority of my log press training, I will normally clean it once, and once I've got it to the chest, then I will practice doing the pressing, because that's where I'm weak. Whereas some guys, once they're poor at the clean, but once they get the weight here, then they can easily press it. Whereas I'm the opposite, I'm very good at the clean, but once I have it to the shoulders, I'm weak at the pressing. So I'll work more on the pressing side of it, really. I mean, that's not to say that I don't work on my clean, because I do, but the majority of it will mainly be pressing, because I can clean a lot more than what I can press. I can log press 140, but I've cleaned over 150 before. So like I say, my clean is very strong, but it's the press. So I will normally work on the press, because that's what my weakness is. So, but if your clean is weak, then maybe work on your clean and work on being efficient at getting that cleaning that weight to your chest. Okay, so the next tip is when you're lifting a log, you want to be sure to have it close to your body. I'm just using my own little log because I'm at home. The big red log I use at the gym is 85 kilos. This is only 25, but the principle's still the same. I'm just showing this here because at the gym you've got lots of loud music and it's just easier to do the demonstration here. Okay, so when you lift the log, you don't want a gap. You literally want the log touching your feet. And obviously when I lift the log, it's on the log is on pad, so the log is a bit higher up and I can get really close to it, but so you don't want a gap here. You literally want it touching your shins and keeping in contact with your body as much as you possibly can the whole time. You don't want to be doing this. You don't want any gap between your body and the log. The log should literally be touching your body pretty much all the way up. Okay, so the next tip is basically foot positioning and stance. So you don't want an extremely really wide stance, but you don't want a narrow stance either. I basically take slightly wider than shoulder width, but where it's comfortable. I'm also sure to push my knees out to the side like that. You don't want your knees caving in. So when I approach the log, I have my legs about here, and you can see it on the video itself. So about there where it's comfortable, not too wide but not too narrow. So about there, push my knees out like that, make sure that the log is nice and tight, and then I'll bring it into the lap. Okay, and the next thing is you want these handles, you want to push the log so that it's out about there. You don't want to lift it like that. You want to push the handle so it's out about there, and you want to put your hand placement needs to be right in the middle of the handles. So go to the middle there, put my finger, wrap it round, same here. You don't want that. I don't know if you can see this. You don't want your hands right at the top, you don't want your hands at the bottom. You want your hands perfectly in the middle, with the handles facing at about 45 degrees. So hands perfectly in the middle like that, and then I'll wrap my thumbs around it just to make sure that I've got it tight, right in like that, and then you're ready to go. Right, another tip as well. This tip might not necessarily work for everyone, but it's worked for me, and it'll probably work for most, and that is get your strict press, get your strict log strong, because I find that if my strict log goes up, then my push press will go up. it's probably now people out there that are strict pressers, it's probably not going to work for them because they can't push press. There are some, I do know some log pressers that only strict press, Harry Hannum and Eddie Hall, amongst others. I mean, even Sedrunas, he doesn't even use much leg drive when he presses. But you know, if you're a push presser like I am, you know, if you, this is what I tend to find for me. If my strict log goes up, then my push press log will go up. But again, I say that's individual. You know, there are a few guys out there that can only strict log, so that's probably not going to be applicable to them. But yeah, work on your strict press, because I don't just do the push press. I work on my strict log as well. And as I find, if one goes up, the other one goes up. So yeah, definitely don't forget about doing strict log. Okay, so the next tip as well is you want to work on your shoulders and all. You know how I said earlier, you want to build your triceps and that will help you log. So will your shoulders, and also you want to build them shoulders. Some really good exercises that I recommend as well. I like to do lots of standing shoulder presses. You can do it with a normal barbell, you can do it with an axle, or yes, even a log. You know how I said, like, when I do strict press, that brings up my push press as well. So lots of strict logs as well, that'll build your shoulders. One exercise I really like to do as well that I've found has really helped is incline log. Incline log press, really good. I actually borrowed that exercise from Sven Carlson. I don't know if you've seen Sven Carlson's video. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Sven Carlson Viking Power, and it's a really good video. And you see him actually do incline log press, and that's helped my log as well. I'm really trying to build my numbers up on incline log press because I'm finding that that's having a carryover, so that's really good. Another good exercise for log press is seated Smith machine shoulder press, believe it or not. Yeah. Nearly 3 years ago, I went to a seminar in Crawley. I went and met Sedrunas Savickas, and he's really big on seated Smith machine shoulder presses. Sedrunas said that that's a really big assistance exercise he does for log, so I gave that a go as well, and that's a really good one to do as well. So there are some good exercises that you can use to build your shoulders and help build your log press up. Okay, so last but not least, probably the biggest tip of all, and this is the one that's helped me out the most when it comes to log, and this is the final press. You know, remember when I said earlier that the press is the weakest portion of the lift for me? Well, there was two main reasons for that. First of all, I think because I failed 140 kilos a lot of times before I finally got it, and I think it was more of a mental thing, because once I had it here, I don't know, my brain would just talk me out of it. I think it was the fact that just 140, that big round number, would just psych me out and all that. So the first part of this tip is you need to be aggressive with the log. Once you've got it there, you really need to give it all you got. You can't just press it nonchalantly. You really need to be aggressive and give it everything, especially when you're going for a 1 rep max. You really need to be aggressive and fight that weight, not just like that. Even if you're strict pressing it, you need to be aggressive. And this brings me to the next point as well, and a lot of reasons why I failed a log while I was weak at the press. So September last year, I went to a log press seminar organised by Shane German. Shane, you are a bloody genius. And he taught me this tip. I learned a lot of this log press seminar, but the main takeaway from it, the main tip that helped me out more than anything else, the thing that he taught me, and I went and implemented this straight away, and he told us, me and the bunch of guys that were there, to work on this tip, and that this would help us along with all our other training and exercise. He said, take some time apart and learn this tip, and this will help your log press immensely. And it has, and it's absolutely brilliant, and I love it. This is the tip, right? So once you've got the log press here, right, what you want to do, get your head back like that. That's the main thing, right? You don't, because this is what I used to do, and this is what a lot of people still do, right? I would try and press it like that, and that is a weak position, because when you go to press it, the log's going to go forward, and it's just going to upset everything, and it's just going to bring you forward like that. The log will work a lot best when it goes in a straight line. You want to get like that, and the best way to do it is to go back like that and get that log. You want to get that log in a straight line like that, okay? Because if your body is straight, you're going forward like that, and you're literally just going to have to muscle it up like that, and it's just going to take a lot more to get it up. it's so much easier. So, see, if my body's straight and I try and go like that, I'm just going to go forward, and it's just making it a lot harder. Whereas if I'm, and also as well, you don't want to look forward or look straight, you want to look directly up at the ceiling as well. Look straight up, okay? And you want to press that log in a straight line, so your back needs to go back, you need to go back like that at the same time. That is the main thing. Make sure when you're pressing, you go back like that. Okay, you don't want to be doing this. You need to work your body around the log. Because once you start going forward like that, you're just making it a hell of a lot harder for yourself. You want, imagine that, imagine you want to press it in a straight line like that, not that. You don't want to be going over there, because you will lose it. And even if you get it, you're going to have to fight really hard to get it back again. So when you got it there, don't, because this is the mistake I used to make. I was so guilty of this. I would try and press it like that. And Shane, he taught me the error of my ways, you know. That was the one big thing that helped me out. Eyes up, straight line, back like that. None of this. So, you know, that's really helped me out. And I finally got that 140 log press, £308. So happy. So anyway, I hope these tips help. Okay, happy log pressing. You know, the 140 was okay, it was good. I'm gonna give it a few weeks, maybe try a bit more, but yeah, it's all coming on really good now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helps you out. Please don't forget to like, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Okay, and I'll be back soon with some more videos.